Last episode, we talked about Ben Simmons and how he's not returning the 76ers calls. And the 76ers, there was a report that came out about them that said they are monitoring the Dame situation. They are waiting for him to request a trade, and they hope that he does request a trade as soon as he comes back. I think he's back by now. He hasn't done it yet.
He? Oh, he was
in the Olympics. First question, do you think they have the assets to trade for Dame? And does he make them title contenders if they do, in fact, get Dame in town?
Oh, I think they do have the assets. I think Ben Simmons is still an asset. I think it's one asset that, looking at the teams, he already established he's not going to L.A. He put out a tweet saying, I'm willing to bet however much it was that he's not going to the Lakers. I don't think the Clippers have any assets. I think Miami's done. They don't have any assets. So I think the only teams are Golden State and Philly. And I don't think Golden State, they've come out and said they're going to grow with these young guys. They're going to play. Steph Curry and Draymond have come out and said they like these young guys. So I don't think they're going to trade. So that leaves Philly. The last real spot, or Boston, but Boston doesn't have better assets. I think Ben Simmons is the glaring aspect. You could throw in a Tyrese Maxey too. But I think depending on what they give up, which I'm assuming is probably Simmons, Maxey, and if they can keep Thibault, or Springer, if they can throw those two guys and Ben Simmons, they keep Thibault, you bring in Dame. You got a lineup of Dame, Thibault, Tobias. No, Dame, Seth, Thibault.
Green.
Oh my God, he came back, right? Dame Green. Woo, Dame Green, Tobias, Thibault, Tobias, Joel Embiid. I think that puts him right there. I think that puts him right next to Philly and right under Brooklyn. I think Dame is just that dangerous.
Milwaukee.
Yo, I'm fucking up. Put them right next to Philly. Oh my God, did it again. Right next to Milwaukee and right behind Brooklyn. I think Dame and Embiid, two MVP caliber players. Dame is a dangerous threat. I think having a big man like that and the co-talent he's never had like that would be incredible, and that would definitely put him square in a way at the top of the East right there with Milwaukee.
Nah, straight up. I really think. As if Philly wasn't already like a championship contender last season until Ben just fell off in the playoffs. Now you get Dame.
You got lost of words.
Nah, I'm trying to see like where I'd put them.
You put them over Milwaukee?
I just might. I might just put them number 2 in the East. They're not beating Brooklyn, obviously, but
I don't say obvious.
Well, not
with Embiid. I don't know, bro. I'm be honest with you. I'm not gonna. If they played, obviously, I would put my money on Brooklyn, but I wouldn't be surprised because they have Embiid, who's gonna dominate Brooklyn down low. I think Dame and Kyrie, they're gonna match each other. So it's just really, and they have Thibault. They have a defender, Danny Green. He's not a elite defender, but he's annoying. He's pesky, like you say. So pesky's annoying. So they have guys. So I think they would make that series a really, really competitive series. I don't think they beat them though. I have Brooklyn, but I think they could beat Milwaukee though.
I think Philly probably would be the second best team in the Eastern Conference. I think I would put them above Milwaukee. I would love for this trade to happen.
Me too.
For one, I think for Ben Simmons, get him in a new scene.
That would suck for us.
Portland.
We would never see our teams win.
Get him in Portland. I think a new scenery would be good. And I've done a rebuild already with Ben Simmons in Portland. I won a championship with them as well. Simmons was averaging.
But you had the number 1 pick?
Nah, Simmons averaged like 24, 10, and 8.
Who's his back mate? Who's his mate?
I had a CJ.
Oh, you kept CJ?
I traded for Miles Turner. So I just had a 5-out lineup.
How'd you get Miles?
I traded Nurkic.
And some picks?
Yeah. I had a 5-out lineup, and, Simmons just went crazy with that.
He's a 2K god.
Yeah, he went crazy. He was averaging like 24, 10, and 10. He was going crazy. The reason why I like Dame in Philly is because in Portland, CJ McCollum, no disrespect, he's an amazing player. He just got named the NBPA president. Shout out to him. But McCollum and Dame's game didn't mesh well. They had success, but it's my turn, then it's your turn. If he's in Philly, Dame, for the first time in his career, has another elite player that complements his game, and he complements Joel Embiid's game. Off the pick and roll, pick and pop. That's a deadly combination. Dame has never had that. The closest thing to it was Nurkic. Aldridge for 1 year when Dame wasn't even who he was. The closest thing to that was Nurkic, and when Nurkic was healthy, when they first got him from Denver, he was averaging 16 and 10. Now imagine with an Embiid who is an MVP caliber player, could have won the MVP if he stayed healthy last season, this would be an amazing, amazing team. They have the defenders in Green and Thibault. Maybe Springer stays if he's not involved in that trade. You know, this is a deep team, man. Like, I think the starting lineup, if I want to go all offense, I would say Dame, Curry, Green, Tobias, and Embiid. And then off
though?
It
After
depends.
what you just seen in Portland?
It depends, you know, because I think
Curry
Curry
Seth brings that punch off the bench, though.
That's true, but he's also one of their best players. Even, you know, I think Tobias and him, especially in the playoffs, it wasn't far off. Then off the bench, Korkmaz, Thibault. They got Drummond. You know, I know Drummond isn't this crazy player.
If he understands his role, he'll be fine.
He'll definitely understand that he's behind Embiid. Yeah. Embiid will make him understand.
He better.
And then they also signed George Niang, who's a good three-point shooter. And they got, you know, Springer, Maxey, Milton. Depending on who goes to, you know, Portland.
Those two probably have to go.
I think this is one of the most deepest teams in the NBA. And based off of Dame's track records in the playoffs, he might mask some of those Doc Rivers inefficiencies in the playoffs and lack of adjustments.
Yeah, I think if CJ was more like, because Dame is very similar to Steph, so I think if CJ was more like a Clay, they would be, you know, a better suited backcourt. You know, Steph masks Clay's, you know, creation and, you know, his ability to, you know, create his own shot consistently, and Clay obviously masters Steph's defense. So it's like they complement themselves so well. I think if CJ was that, it would kind of work better in Portland. Like you said, it was always a your turn, my turn thing. Even with John Wall and Bradley Beal, you saw it was in the East. They played LeBron, but you saw a little bit of success because John Wall was a playmaker and Beal was kind of an on-ball, off-ball type of guard. So it's, you know, CJ wasn't that good player though, but he just was never that. So
I think, see, this is huge because Dame got like probably the most gravity on the 3-point line next to Steph and all of them. So that also opens it up for Joel Embiid down low. So, I mean, just looking at it broadly, that's also it. But in terms of Ben, like, I know all the memes can come out. We can say whatever we want about Ben Simmons. People forget that he's always top 2, top 3 in assists every single year. So I feel like a trade to Golden State would be like the best option, where you could just get him out to, you know, Klay Thompson standing in the corner, Steph Curry coming off a screen, you know, top of the key or whatever. Even Draymond can.
do we trust a Ben and Draymond lineup?
The Warriors are on that right now. They're
thinking about
it. Right now. That's what's conflicting between getting Simmons is that, look, we don't know how Draymond and Ben are going to work. That's why we're not sure if we want to get
two
Ben.
guys that won't shoot.
Yeah, and Draymond has really fallen off in terms of just trying to score.
And that would mean Ben would play the 5. I don't think you're going to bench. Well, Wiggins is probably gone anyways, but Ben would probably play the 5.
If I'm going to sit, I'm fine with where I'm at.
I agree. I think you already have a Ben Simmons. Let's be realistic, a better Ben Simmons at this point right now in Draymond Green. So why go get another one who's just going to clog up the paint, create no spacing? I don't think it makes sense. You already have your team.